Tell us the truth about what's going on.
This is death, okay? I'm dying. There is no main character here, except for Tiger Woods, and we can't see Tiger Woods. It's just get what you can get, grab a crowd. We were supposed to do this for tomorrow. They want it for 5 o'clock tonight. I got those women, they were good. And, you know, this is a story about not being able to do your story. In any other medium, this would never air, but this is local TV news, so it will air. They send a crew. They're going to get a story. No, let me take that back. They're going to get a minute 45. I don't know if they're going to get a story.
What TV show?
Channel 7, KGO. Let's go up here. Channel 7 is 5 o'clock. Thank God for him. Good old Randy's going to save my butt. Because he's out there getting shots, things I can write to later on. But everybody here is media crazy. They all want to be on television. They all want to get their autographs. So it's real hard to get anything spontaneous. In fact, it's hard for you to get anything spontaneous.
What are we waiting for? Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Of course.
You'll stand on a stool for Kevin Costner.
For about the last hour. I climb a tree for Kevin Costner.
Anything else?
Are we on TV? Because I can't tell you that.
And now, Costner.
And we're going to have to cut the next sound bite. We're at 105. We are dead.
Any easier?
Stand on a stool for Kevin Costner.
For about the last hour.
Yeah, and this year the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am is drawing more attention than ever before.
And the crowds are so huge, the stars remain distant points of light, as we learn on this page from Wayne Freedman's notebook.
People don't watch the evening news the way they read a newspaper or watch a movie. It's sound bites, it's quick images, it's on and it's gone.
Though, to be more precise, you don't actually see their shots as much as listen for them. Here, the young Tiger misses a putt. And now Kevin Costner tees off. He may dance with wolves, but he also slices into the woods. Clearly one of life's great tragedies.
You'll stand on a stool for Kevin Costner.
For about the last hour. I climb a tree for Kevin Costner.
It's frustrating because I put a lot of effort into these stories, and I cut these stories and write these stories and read these stories as if people are paying attention on a big screen. The reality is that they're not. Most of them are hardly paying attention.
From Spyglass Hill, Wayne Freedman, Channel 7 News.
Wayne's view of the world.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
From Spyglass Hill, Wayne Freedman, Channel 7.
Hey, Dennis. It's Wayne. 145. Maybe even 144 and a half.
And that necklace coming
Yeah,
down
hang on.
there.
Hang on. It's going to be 144 and a half. How do you like that?
Then the date. And that necklace
Yeah,
coming
right.
down there.
Goodbye.
From Spyglass Hill, Wayne Freedman. And the date. And that necklace coming down there.
You have to understand that I grew up in television. My dad was with ABC since its founding in 1948. My dad invented the concept of the live electronic handheld camera. He's the first guy that walked around a football sideline. Live, first guy to take a camera on a convention floor, live. He was a pioneer. The reason I got on the news is that my dad once said to me, son, if you want to go into television, go on the news. They will never cancel the news. So far, they haven't.
Tonight on Channel 7 News at 11, it could only be a page from Wayne Freedman's notebook.
This used to be a two-room apartment. Now it's a command center with secret passages, tunnels, and 37 different rooms, all transformed with cardboard, aluminum foil, and 30,000 feet of duct tape.
This is called Northern Zone Fortress.
Visit this man with a vision and an apartment like no other. Tonight at 11, only on Channel 7 News.
Go down the hall, probably quick, 2 or 3 montage, quick, a strange sound bite, and then we'll feel our way through it. Because I don't know anything about it. It's just, you're really going to believe this.
Well, show it to me. Jeez. Wayne, you got some pockets?
No,
Okay, you sure not. I don't want to break it. I broke too.
Hello, Kenny?
Maybe he blasted off already. Dude, somewhere on Mars.
Hello, Kenny.
Hi.
This is John Griffin.
Kenny.
Hi.
Kenny Irwin.
Good to meet you, Kenny.
Enter the spaceship.
Enter the spaceship. Oh, nice, Kenny. Very nice.
Well,
interesting lighting. This is going to be
Bizarre. This is just outrageous.
Yeah, man. You got some stuff going here.
This is going to take a while.
I could spend the first hour just kind of like
I told you,
checking
you're
it
gonna
out,
wait.
you know. Actually, I want to keep it on your belt because it's a wireless and it's, you know, radio frequency mic.
Get shit
just
on.
want to kind of have it out there where it picks up all those good radio frequencies.
Griff, we got a lot of room to look at today.
I know.
Why is it that the one day you follow me on a story is the weirdest piece of all time? We've done some really good people through the years, and you get Kenny Irwin. So you can keep yourself busy in here for hours?
pretty much. I still like to go outside if I can.
What's the record, you think, for staying inside this apartment?
About 48 hours.
How do you move all this stuff when you leave? Where do these visions come from?
They come through my dreams. My dreams indicate what
Just a
things
POV,
look like.
literally walking through the doorway and around. Kenny can sit there and be watching TV, or whatever you'd be doing.
Okay.
I'm going to stay out of your way, and I'm going to figure out what to write here, because I'm at a loss.
And fade up on 3 Q.
A toddler is all alone, strapped inside a car as it plunges down a ravine. The incredible stories in the
10,
pictures straight ahead.
9,
Also, the
8,
damage caused by those
7,
powerful winds.
6.
And would you
5,
put nails on your bathroom
4,
floor?
3,
An apartment you
2,
have to see to believe.
1, and fade to black.
These parked cars may look innocent enough, but in the summertime, they're potential death traps. To show you how potentially dangerous a parked car can be and how fast it can heat up, I'm going to spend the next 35 minutes inside this one. This isn't going to be easy. The car heated up immediately. In fact, within less than a minute, it was already at 105 degrees. And now, after 5 minutes, the thermometer reads 110 degrees.
The golden handcuffs. The golden handcuff, the equation in television is the more money you make, the less freedom you have. The golden handcuffs mean that after a while, this becomes not just a career and not just a means of expression, this becomes a job.
23 minutes have passed, and it's unbearably stifling in here. The temperature is still climbing, but the thermometer isn't. It's reached its peak at well past 130 degrees, and I'll be lucky if I can hang on for 35 minutes.
It's always their soapbox. And if you're elevated above the crowd, and if you have a voice above that crowd, it's because it's their soapbox you're standing on. My soapbox is KGO TV. If KGO chooses to rip my soapbox out from under my feet, I'm just Wayne Freedman, a guy who is like anybody else. You know what? Milt, this is Aaron Lubarsky.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi. This is Bill.
Hi,
That's
Bill.
Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Milt is the big boss. They make the plays. I run the plays. Even if I don't like any given story on a given day, the chances are I will still like the process. I'll love doing it. And the day that becomes a chore is the day that I need to find something else to do.
I set my lighting, you walk right into my lighting.
I'm sorry, Griffin. What do you want?
I want you to do it again.
Griffin, I'm not going to do it again.
All right, fine.
I mean, what did I block? This thing or what?
Yes, you blocked her.
God, get me a sequence of him watching television so I can get on with my story.
Wayne.
Now, for one thing about he's a good photographer, but he takes forever. He takes forever.
You can't see. It's a reflection shot, Wayne. You must have very light brightness on the screen. Otherwise, you don't have a reflection shot.
No, you don't have a reflection shot.
I surely don't, and I'm going to wait for it. You're going to love this when you see it, dude.
Not if my subject dies before we finish the interview.
There's plenty alive. I'm not really fighting with Griffin when I yell at him. I'm trying to distract the subject. Right now, I'm trying to think of what to do for a stand-up. Thinking of what I need. We need him crawling from room to room, him working on stuff. We need a come-to-Jesus soundbite, a come-on soundbite. Oh, I don't know. I just need to structure a little. It's beginnings, middles, endings. Beginnings. Have you heard this before?
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Go. It's hard to believe, but behind 3, 2, 1. It's hard to believe, but there really is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment behind all this. 3, 2, 1. It's hard to believe looking at all of this, but there really is a 2-bedroom, 2, 1. It's hard to believe when you look at all this, but there really is what used to be a... It may be hard to believe, but there really is a regular 2-bedroom... It may be hard to believe, but there really is a regular 2-bedroom, 2,000-square-foot apartment behind all this. There's all there.
Kenny says it took 9 months.
But use the same track. But use the same track. Let me see if the editorial, if this works, and then I'll change the next track.
They're not going to believe it. I mean, they'll watch. They're not going to tune in Letterman during this.
I want to make sure we're fair to him, but at the same time, you got to explain. Kenny, you got to explain. Kenny. Let me hear the bite first. I don't want to discuss that. We'll make him mad. Roll it. Let me hear him. We gotta roll it.
I don't want to discuss that on TV.
No.
That's cool.
I don't want to discuss that.
I don't want to discuss that. I don't want to talk about that on TV. Now, are we being fair to him here?
No.
Because he doesn't want to talk about it.
No.
It's fair to say that he got his family made an agreement with the landlord that he's comes from money. I mean, these are all facts. Right?
You're the journalist, Wayne. I'm just an editor. What do you think?
I think you're playing for the camera. That's what I think.
No. No, I'm not. I'm being honest.
Then I got to rewrite.
I think you do.
What I'd have to do is lose that bite.
Right.
Began as a vision. Go to began as a vision. Lose the landlord line.
And yet, no one questions this. Ken's family made an agreement with the landlord. His dad owns a resort in Palm Springs. His aunt owns the St. Louis Rams, and perhaps you're getting the picture. Because his aunt owns the St. Louis... Take 5. Ken's family...
You know, it was hard to get into this guy's head. That's the thing. Just couldn't get into his head. You know, I didn't know if he was showing off or whether he was really proud of this or whether he was knew it's kind of weird or what.
This is art, right?
Right.
9 o'clock if we're lucky. I'm sorry. There's not much I can do here.
Contains
I'm stuck.
27 of them, all interlinked.
Sorry.
All interlinked.
I love you.
In addition, there are 67 televisions.
All right. My wife's gonna kill me. She made dinner. She says it's getting cold.
Because Kenny attends art school and sells some of his stuff, this qualifies as a studio. What's so hard about that?
Well, there are 2 versions depending on who tells the story. I have one version.
What's your version?
My version is I met him while he was doing a story at a seminar on romance.
It's half true. I'd done the story, and I was a single guy, and
So he came back to see if he could meet some women at the seminar on romance.
and there were only 2 good-looking women in the class, and she was one of them. She was there with her friend. So, like an idiot.
He asked my friend out.
From the time I began as a reporter, I wanted to be a network correspondent, and I wanted to do features on a morning news show. And I finally got my chance.
This morning on Only in America, feature reporter Wayne Freedman joins us with a story of a most unusual teacher and his class. Good morning.
Good morning, Harry. Thanks very much. One nice thing about living in America is that for the qualified, there aren't a lot of...
I was there. I'd wanted it my whole life. I finally got it. I wanted to make good. And I did some of the best work of my life. But it didn't last. You know, I did it for a year, year and a half, and the format changed. They had budget cuts. And I was crushed. I think it was at CBS that I realized that I would never change the world.
And roll it and take it. Ready 31.
This is Channel 7.
And roll it. And cue dash. Ready 32.
In Marin County. The car she is strapped into plunges down a deep ravine. You'll see the
Roll it
dramatic rescue.
and wipe. Ready 33.
Plus, new information tonight in the nationwide search for a rental truck believed to be full of explosives.
Roll it, wipe, cue. Ready 36 sound.
As Wayne Freedman takes us inside a home that is truly out of this world. You won't believe who inspired this guy's decor.
Roll it, take it sound. 30 out, Heather. 30 out.
Live, local, late breaking. Channel 7 News at 11 starts now.
And roll it, sound on, take.
And the Emmy goes to Wayne Freedman, reporter. Surprise.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're just Emmys. They're just statues, but each is like a nice little keepsake from a story. It doesn't matter whether you win an Emmy or not, but what does matter is the effort. I feel like I'm making an Emmy speech. Man, I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm getting real serious about these stupid little statues. They're nice, okay? But they're not the end. I'm going to tell you 2 things, and then you got a documentary moment. Okay. First thing is this. What the hell was it? You can't take these to the bank. You know what? I've never made a good Emmy speech in my life, even after 30 of them. You can't provide for your family with them. What do you want to know about Emmys? They tarnish? Okay, you know, maybe they should be in a drawer. I don't stop. You keep rolling on me. I mean, this one's up here for a reason. Because if you look, it's all loose. I do not feel comfortable talking about these things. That's because, back from the days of Channel 4, outstanding achievement, talent, news. Because they're yesterday. You know, you can take a knife and open that up and tighten the screw if you want, but to me, they're a symbol of what? I got one more thing I got to say.
I'm rather speechless at the moment. All I can say is, you know, it's what you do every day, and it's not about last year or the year before that. It's about what you did for them today and what you're going to do tomorrow, and doing the best you can every time out, even if you don't like the story. If you don't like the story, try to like the process. So I'd like to thank everybody that worked on these pieces with me, because I owe it to them. Thank you.
An apartment you have to see to believe. One of the more bizarre pages from Wayne's notebook coming up next.
There's stakes there. All right.
So this is a 2-shot. Dash clock first, then TJ. 15.
I'm never going to be a household name or an anchor man. I'm never going to make $1 million. I don't have the face for it. I mean, I look funny on television. But if I can tell a good story and make people remember that story, then I've done my job. I'm happy. Maybe change their life a little bit, make them think a little bit.
Good day. I'm Wayne Freedman. Thank you for looking at this tape, which should take about 10 minutes of your time. I'd like to work for you as a reporter and have more experience than my years might indicate. I published my first newspaper article 11 years ago and have written steadily since then. From 1974 until 1977, I worked in the newsroom at KABC-TV in Los Angeles while studying political science at UCLA. After graduation, I moved to the University of Missouri, where I've just completed a master's program in journalism.
In all my years of doing TV news, I don't think I've changed the world yet. And maybe tilted it a little, just a little. But the world is going to do what the world is going to do. If we can reassure them through what we do once in a while, maybe we can change it that way. Or else just let them laugh about it.
You know, they say a person's home is his castle. Well, in this case, it's really more like a spaceship.
Well, over the past few months, our Wayne Freedman has shown us some of the weirdest rooms in the Bay Area. But brace yourself, because as you'll see in this page from Wayne's notebook, rooms don't get much weirder than this.
Do not let the plain appearance of this hallway mislead you, because beyond the airlock of the last apartment on the right-hand side, there's a command center.
This is called Northern Zone Fortress. It's one of 3 bases that I built throughout California.
And now that we have your attention... Is this a he or a she?
Actually, it's a he, she, he.
Allow us to introduce the commander, Kenny Irwin, a man whose visions of other worlds may blur the line between illusion and delusion.
They come through my dreams. My dreams indicate what things look like. Also through my dreams, I see many other planets, other worlds, things about extraterrestrials. They're the only kind of dreams I've ever had since I was very small.
It may be hard to believe, but there really is a regular 2-bedroom, 2,000-square-foot apartment behind all this. Kenny says it took 9 months to install the new environment. Among the minor modifications, he's put loose nails on the bathroom floor and renamed it a cleansing station. With fiberboard and aluminum foil and 30,000 feet of duct tape, Kenny has built secret passageways and tunnels and 37 different rooms.
Some of them are pretty small, these rooms. Yeah, but they're always big enough for me.
And yet, no one questions this. Ken's family made an agreement with the landlord. His dad owns a resort in Palm Springs. His aunt owns the St. Louis Rams, and perhaps now you're getting the picture. Because Kenny attends art school and sells some of his stuff, this qualifies as a studio. This is art, right?
Right.
For example, he has hung 2,000 liquid-filled latex gloves from the ceiling.
2,000 latex-filled gloves.
This guy has way too much free time.
Okay, 1 minute. In addition, there are 67 televisions, many of them tuned to different channels.
Central Plains in the southeast.
There's too much TV, Kenny.
Gosh, well, there's not ever enough TV.
Put everything together, it would appear that while Ken Irwin proclaims this place to be a work of art, he has, in the process, also built himself an electronic hermitage. But it works for him. Would you be comfortable living in a normal apartment?
Absolutely not. I get nightmares.
After all, a man's home should be his fortress. In Oakland, Wayne Freedman, Channel 7 News.
Wow. Honest to goodness, I walked into my oldest son's room this morning and thought, what a mess. I got to clean this place up.
Ain't nothing compared to that, I bet.
Nothing at all. Looks positively neat. All right, well, stay with us. Martin Live is up next live.
I was disappointed that there was absolutely no reaction to the segment itself. And I was also a little disappointed that he compared my place to his kid's messy bedroom.
I think what's interesting about that story is not what we put in, but what we left out. Because we could have made this thing completely off the wall. If anything, I think we made Kenny Irwin more normal than he really is. I think that's a good thing. Let's get some details in here.
That was good. That was good and large.
You see, you put animals. You mentioned animals in jars.
Sorry, I had it and I'll get around it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We don't have to watch Lucas watching the tape, but if we got video of you watching the tape and then got maybe a quick bite with Lucas about what he thought about the kid, is that possible? When you're working on a story, it's the most important thing in the world. Nothing else matters until it's over.
Kenny Irwin was very important at that moment in time. Kenny Irwin heirs, Kenny Irwin is gone, and now we move on. Then the most important thing in the world is the next project.
And finally tonight, a look at the other side of making movies. Not a lot of glamour, certainly no big money or big stars. And in his notebook tonight, our Wayne Freedman explains the appeal.
A world of sync reels and archival mag tracks and little ribbons of perforated plastic which could, if ever spliced together in the proper order, change the world. As films go, this stuff departs from the mainstream. There were no car chases here, no explosions. When documentarians work a project, they're holding a mirror up to the world, looking for deeper meaning. So imagine the frustration of Aaron Lubarsky, who chose for his subject a television news reporter.
Hey, Dennis, Wayne, 145, maybe even 144.5.
Now you know what it's like to be on the other side of the camera, don't you?
Yeah, I don't like it.
So let's just hold this shot for a second and watch Aaron suffer.
Stay here just for a couple of seconds. 5 got rate dissolved to 43. Here we go. And dissolve.
After 35 minutes inside that car, the physical effects, I'm very weak, feeling a little dizzy. No human being or any living thing should ever have to go through that. Wayne Freedman, 32 Alive News.
Ready to fade to black. And fade to black. Thanks, everybody. Good show.